Hi, Martin's here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Mr. Solomon is here again.
Thanks.
Yeah, based on multiple demands and because we have an unfinished conversation concerning the built environment, that's why Mr. Solomon is here. If you are just joining us for the first time, welcome. You are not late. And I believe that from the conversation we're going to be having today, you will quickly be brought back to speed. So welcome. Do well to like this video, share, and hit the subscription button so that our community will continue to grow and also continue to bring enlightenment and insights as touching facility management, real estate, conversation, and the built environment. So let's just dive straight into it with Mr. Solomon.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good to have you back here.
Thank you.
We called and you answered.
I don't have a choice.
Thank you. The community we're building, the last video we made,
Yeah.
it's spawned a lot of conversation, and a lot of people pointed to you making a lot of points. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So I remember the last time you introduced yourself, you said you grew up in Delta.
Yeah.
So how do you describe Delta State in one way to describe Delta? For example, in Kano, we say Kano is a center of commerce.
Yeah.
Kano State, Nigeria. For the international audience, like that's like the northern part of Nigeria. So how do you describe, Delta State? I think Delta is south.
Yeah, it's southern
Southern part of Nigeria. Yeah. So
Delta State is a place that it's one state, but it has more than 10 tribes. Let me not say languages, tribes. You understand? Yeah, some parts you go to, you have the Igbos.
Yeah.
So definitely that part to be all I with now. We don't have this commercial value.
Yeah.
There are some parts you go to, we have the Urobos there, and definitely it's for Urobos are very educated people also. So we have civil servants, the office workers, and there are some parts you go to in Delta State. The main occupation there is fishing and oil workers and all that. So
yeah. So how's Kano been for you?
Kano has been good. I've achieved a lot. I think this year is going to make it like 10 years I've been in Kano now.
Wow.
And I've achieved a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so it's good to hear that you're enjoying yourself in Kano.
Yeah.
So now let's dive straight into it. The conversation that we are here to have. The built environment. We already established that the built environment is a physical stage where we live, where humans live their lives.
Yeah.
As long as it is constructed, it is created, it is fine-tuned, whatever, it is considered a built environment, right? And for me, I like to categorize the built environment into three. We have the structure, the infrastructure, and also the open space.
Okay.
For the structure, this has to do with the places we live our lives.
Yeah.
We breathe. The houses, our homes, for example, our offices where we work, our churches,
the hospital
where we go get treated.
Yeah.
That's for the structure. The infrastructure, everything that every lifeline that helps
to keep
that structure running, right? So we have the power grid, we have the bridges, the roads. As long as it's something that will help keep the structure running. And now we also have the spaces, open spaces. We have the parks, we have the gardens. Now, so many people may argue that the parks are natural places, but then we have people who intentionally landscape those spaces.
Yeah.
So, of course, like I said from the beginning, I said as long as it is constructed, whether landscaped or whatever, it is considered the built environment. And like the built environment has a major kind of control over us humans.
Yes.
Determines our development, our mood,
our productivity. And
Thank
all
you
that.
so much. So now here comes my question. I've always wondered, as a human, when you go to a properly lit environment, it tells a lot on your mood.
Yeah,
it tells a lot on your productivity. It tells a lot on how you are going to function for that day. So when you find yourself in such an environment where you enter and immediately it dampens your mood, how do you go about it?
Well, is that as a teacher, right?
Yeah, as a teacher, let's align it to
my profession.
Yeah.
As a teacher, the first thing I tell myself is my mood doesn't really matter. You understand? And if I sit on that, my mood is bad. What I want to teach the kids, the message, the information I want to pass to them, the knowledge I want to pass to them, will not really matter. Will not go as planned. So the only thing I have to do is like try and lighten up the mood of the environment. You understand? Try and lighten up the mood and just find a way around it.
So you're saying that as a teacher in an environment, in a structure, the infrastructure goes off for 24 hours. Are you telling me that you're still going to function? Like you're going to still be as a person, not now as a teacher, now as a person also.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you're still going to function properly without any...
Now, properly, no. Function, yes.
Okay.
The thing is, I just don't have a choice. You understand? let me give you one good example now.
Okay.
Of what I want to let you know. Now let's take the case of coronavirus now.
Yeah.
Where the hospitals jam-packed, were they crowded? Yes. The doctors, were they long shifts for the doctors? Yes. Did they still try their best? Yes.
Yes, they did.
You understand?
Yeah.
There are times that the structure and infrastructure, right? Don't just give you the time, the leverage to like take your time in doing things. Let's say an hospital now before corona could only accommodate, let's say, total max of 150 people. And you know, during corona, most hospitals were more than that.
Yes.
And
yes.
instead of 150 people,
we have more people.
We have up to 500 to
people.
600
Yeah,
people.
most of the time.
And in some places, there are people using open spaces as hospitals. There are people giving out hotels as hospitals.
Yes.
So because the structure and infrastructure does not give you that leverage of how would I put it now? Of taking your time to not make you just have to perform. Poorly, yes. On how would I put it? You will not be happy with it. You understand? But you don't have a choice.
What's the worst experience that you've had, like as a teacher, like in an environment?
Okay, in
a facility.
Okay, now in a facility, one of the worst experience I've had is working in a place where we had up to more than 15 teachers, and the facility, I know we could not take up to that because we had just one small window. It was not ventilated or any of that. One door.
One door. Considered the staff room?
And that's the staff room.
Oh my God!
So you understand, one door and a very tiny window, and we don't. How
did you survive?
No, we just have to. You understand? We just have to find out.
Your productivity is going to drop immediately. This will mess with everything you stand for as a teacher, and I'm thinking that this might even affect the teachers in trying to, teach their students.
At a point, sometimes it does, because when you're in that kind of hot place, because we don't have fun there.
Wow.
When you're in that kind of hot place, sometimes you just get weak and you want to sleep, and you have class. You understand?
Wow. Your energy drops.
You see teachers dipping.
Yes.
They will know they have period. They will know they have a class. But the thing is, it's not actually their fault. I don't blame the facility manager and all that.
Who do you blame for this?
I blame the owners of the place.
I have a reservation. I'm going to share a story.
Okay.
I have a reservation. Now, why I said that, for me, I blame facility manager.
Okay.
Because as a facility manager, although you work with the blueprint of the school, everything, whether school, facility, whether any organization you find yourself as a facility manager, your primary responsibility first is to align with what that environment requires from you.
Yeah.
Now, if you watch my previous video, you will see where I talked about my life, how I transitioned into FM.
Yeah.
I wasn't always a facility manager. In fact, some time ago, I worked in a pharmaceutical company.
Wow.
As a maintenance officer, without prior knowledge, no background knowledge, there's no experience of any such. Now, usually, it's supposed to maybe be in a place where you get trainings and all of those things. But for me, the company was new, so I started from ground up. The first year was disastrous. You don't want to know, because I was firefighting, running helter skelter, repeating things. I was reacting to things, reacting to maintenance processes. I was always firefighting. Sometimes you see me walking around. I was working with the ground guys, and at some point, all I had was my skill, my technical know-how, like my way around. What's it called? There's this communication process that we use that I tend to adopt rather.
Yeah.
Right? I adopted it, and it helped me. You don't need to see it. Non-verbal communication.
Yeah.
I adopted the non-verbal communication process, and it helped me. You don't have to see it. I'm there.
Yeah.
You understand? This was how I did for the first year. Brutal. So many errors as a maintenance officer. Now, why I say I'm playing facility manager, in that kind of environment, I'm supposed to also share my blueprint to the organization, whoever is going to employ me. This is how I work. This is my strategy. If it aligns with your company, you employ me. If it doesn't align, as a person, as facility managers, we have ethics. We have work ethics. We have what we call code of conduct. No other facility manager should come to your facility and see some things that are not right.
Okay.
You understand? We have this international standard of operational standard, ISO 41001, 2018. These methodologies, they tend to shape the way we see facilities. So as a facility manager, if you find yourself in such an environment, you do that. That was why I left. Okay. And you find yourself in such an environment and you do all you can to ensure that things change, it doesn't, I think you should walk away.
Wow, like you said, right? And this is your story. I don't still see the facility manager's fault there. Okay. Because you're employing somebody without prior experience is one thing. And you're not giving the person the blueprint of what you expect from that person is another thing. You can't love the person's property more than the person. You understand? So you're trying to
please say that again.
You can't love the person's property more than the person. Yeah.
Wow.
So you're trying to like give them standard that they don't want. You understand?
Yeah.
It's something like I think it's not necessary. You understand?
Yeah.
It's like you have your own standard, you have your own code of conduct and all that. You understand? But sometimes you just have to like throw that out of the window and face the job at hand. Let's say, for instance, now you're a doctor, right? And you have your own work ethics and all that.
Yeah.
The environment must be clean and the rest and the rest.
Yes.
What if you find yourself in a situation where in a rural area, you understand? Well, what if you find yourself in a rural area? You know, you just need to improvise in some kind of thing.
You have to be spontaneous.
You understand? Improvise, find your way around it. We know this is how it's supposed to be, but this is what's available. You understand? So this is what you just have to work with. You understand? There are cases where, like, the facility manager definitely is an educated person, right? Now, you as an educated person, now definitely most of your team members, like you have cleaners, you have electricians,
you have plumbers, and
under you as a person. Most of them are not really educated that much. Most of them don't have your idea, the idea you have. You know? I'm not saying
that's why you're the team leader, though.
Yeah, that's why you're the team leader. But now, you as a team leader, you have your own goals. You understand?
You have your standard of operation.
You have your own standard of operation. Now, trying to tell a woman now, a cleaner now, like, I don't want to see this place dirty. Please make sure you tidy it up at all times. You know, sometimes human error will just occur and she will just. So, what do you think? Are you going to start? No.
So as a facility manager, for me, I feel like if you're going to be a part of my team, I just feel like maybe we're not saying this loud enough. If you're going to be a part of my team, whether facility manager, whether pharmaceutical, wherever, teacher, head director, wherever, if you're going to be a part of my team, you have to understand my SOP. These are standards that have been laid to help us function properly. Going against it tends to derail us from what the goal is, our vision, our mission, and what we tend to want to achieve.
Now, I want to ask you something now.
Yes.
Is the vision for you or for the person that put you there?
So I'm trying to understand this your question.
You said your SOP, your
Yes.
now the vision you are talking about now. Is it for you as a person or the person that the company that put you in place in charge of it?
As a facility manager, your statement about not loving the person's property more than the person,
Yeah.
for us is a fallacy. We consider it a fallacy.
Okay.
Do you know why? Because if we do not love our jobs, we will not be there in the first place. Like I said, if we meet you, you want to employ us. One of the things that we do when we're going for interviews, preparing for job interviews for facility management job roles, we tend to do research about your company.
Okay.
Say, for example, company AYZ. What does company AYZ stand for? What are their standard of operations? You make proper inquiries. When you are done with the inquiries, how you are going to present yourself in front of the interviewers, there's a lot whether you're going to get the job and your approach towards the job. So, for example, if I do not have an SOP, how do I convince you to employ me? So my SOP is going to be aligned with your own SOP. My approach to my job is going to align with what you want to achieve. So it means that if I get to a place, I'm about to be interviewed or about to whatever, and there's no alignment, you won't see me there. That's what it means. And facility managers, we are very, very, very strict with this.
So now I want to ask now.
Yeah.
Let's say, like I use the rural area and the doctor and all that. Let's say now you're a facility manager, experienced facility manager, right? And you have been put in an environment where how would I put it now? Like a rural environment now. Are you still going to carry that standard of an urban area to that rural area?
So let me tell you. So how do I respond to this? Okay, so simple. Like I said, the way and manner I'm going to approach an organization is depending on them. I will do my research. So let's pick a rural area in Kano. Let's say we're going to Dawano. I don't know if you know that place. Dawano is a place for farmers. I don't know. So we're going to Dawano. I'll do my research on Dawano. What is Dawano known for? What are they doing? How is the facilities there? What are the structures in that place? I begin to fine-tune my approach with the environment. So we are not independent when it comes to approach. Our approach depends on what we see on ground, how the environment is.
Thank you.
It's simple for me, and for majority of the facility managers out there. All right. At the end of the day, how we tend to relate with your environment depends on your goals and your vision.
Now let me say, you use figures in it. Dawano as an example, right? You've been a facility manager here in Kano. Let's say Aminu Kano, right?
I'm teaching hospital.
Yes. Then you are taken to Dawano hospital there. Let's say government hospital there. The two companies, the two institutions, right? They have the same goal. Treat people, just help people, right? So now, the same question I'm asking now: are you still going to keep your standard, the same standard you used in Aminu Kano, in Dawano, because they are the same institution?
Yes. Institution, yes. Now, the goal of an institution remains the same, like you mentioned. If the institution is a hospital, it remains the same. It now depends
in a rural area.
What are rural? Haven't you seen functioning facilities in rural area? Haven't you seen? You've not seen a modern facility. What is rural area?
I have not seen.
Are you talking about bushes?
I'm not talking about bushes.
Not necessarily.
I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm not talking about bushes,
yes.
Right? I've been to a lot of rural area, right? I've been to their house.
What is the goal of your? Okay, let's use.
I've been to. Now let me give you an example.
Sorry.
Now. Okay.
Let's use education, school, for example.
Okay.
What's the goal of a school?
To educate people.
So, does the environment tells a lot about whether the child is going to be educated or not?
If the environment of the school tells a lot, yes, now,
The environment goes a long way, right?
yes, a very
So,
long
as a
way.
human being, as a person, when you are in an environment that is not conducive for what you are trying to achieve, are you going to stay there?
As a facility manager or
As
as
a
a,
human being and as a facility manager, are you going to stay there?
it all depends on what brought you there. Let's take
Like,
for
it's like
instance.
you're taking my talk out of context.
No, I'm
I
not.
specifically said when you
Okay.
want to interview me,
Yeah.
I'll make research about your company. When I sit down, I'm going to create an approach that will align. If my approach
So
doesn't
our
align,
values or
if
your standard.
I have standard, I have values. If my approach does not align to what I'll pass,
Okay.
it's not a
Now,
must to work there.
because my own question was,
It's not a must
is
to
the
work there.
value, is the standard you are creating?
And apart from that, if I want to own a school, or if any sane person wants to own a school, I think one of the best things to do is there's a global standard for owning a school. There's a Nigerian standard. There's a standard that is acceptable and there is one that is not acceptable. Right? So at the end of the day, if your goal is to educate people, create leaders or create working minds for the society, and that's from that school, you need to ensure that there are some certain things that you do not jeopardize with. Now, speaking
Some
about school,
certain facilities.
yes, speaking about school, I want us to take a moment and sympathize with the school children that have been terrorized all around Nigeria. Please take a moment to just type something. Somebody might watch this sometime in the future. Just type something positive to these children. Our country has been terrorized. Our country has been made to look like a war zone. Our country has been terrorized by bandits, terrorists, kidnappers, school children being tortured. There are videos online where you see some touching things and unspeakable things. So please, let's just take a moment, write something good, write something positive. And if you're a government official and you are watching this video, remember that you will be asked to give account of how you functioned in this state called Nigeria. God bless us and may God help our leaders. So, if as a teacher or as a facility manager, my values don't align, I'm not going to be there.
Now, talking about values aligning, right? I gave you an example of a school where we had more than 15 teachers.
Yes, and then you had a small window.
Yeah, if the teachers, right?
Yeah.
Had that much discomfort, right? Imagine the kind of discomfort the children will have.
Yeah, imagine what the toilet will look like.
Yes, imagine what the rest will look like.
Yes.
Now, in this kind of environment, right? It mirrors the financial state of the people around there. So because they are not financially stable, doesn't mean the facility doesn't need a facility manager also.
I don't think they need a facility manager.
It does. Every facility does.
Do you know what facility management is?
I think every facility does.
What is facility? What is facility management? This is my job description. So tell me, what do you understand by facility management?
What I understand by facility management is like keeping the facility running.
And what?
In protecting the facility, making the facility conducive for whatever purpose it was built for. You understand? So now, let's say in that kind of place now.
So let me help you.
Yeah.
Let me give you the international definition, like IFMA. Facility management is a facility manager is the one who coordinates the spaces, environments, systems, strategies, so that to be conducive, so that people can thrive.
Yes.
That is international standard definition. Right? And to be very honest, if a facility or an environment like the one you described for me is lacking in that, are you expecting the facility manager? Can they even pay it? Do you know? I'm saying a lot and I'm expecting you to pay these things. Do you know what it takes to run a facility? Facility like that one you mentioned, that's not a facility, that's a prison. In fact, they should be sued. How do you keep 15 people in a place and then you expect them to perform well? We are not even going to go to the whole global standard of expectations from teachers.
A lot of teachers they still perform.
So okay, so now I believe this boils down to the environment that you are.
Yeah, the financial capability of the people around.
I think it boils down to the place. Like you said in the last video where you mentioned something about where I was saying, although yes, this brings me to the what you said last time, where I said I had a theory, and my theory is the way people interact with the environment tells a lot about right. So you mentioned something that they say something about depends on how they meet the environment.
Yeah,
it tells a lot about a human being, not to talk of a facility manager. As a facility manager now, for me, I can't work in that kind of place. I can't function in that kind of place. To be very honest, that place already is a red flag because you have a small cubicle where 15 people are going to stay. Number one, it dampens your productivity. It makes you less creative as a person. Right? So we're going to be leaving this for the audience to judge or for them to share their insight on.
Yeah.
Right? And we would like you to please do well to share. What do you think? As a facility manager and you're watching this video, what do you think? Are you going to be invested in that kind of organization, knowing fully well that you might stay there? For a starting facility manager, it's okay. You want to grow.
Yeah.
You are trying to gather knowledge, right?
Yeah.
But if as somebody who has been in the system,
like a pro,
like a professional, that place is a red flag. What they need is a maintenance officer. What they need, just like the pharmaceutical company, an experienced maintenance officer, somebody that can manage the environment and all of that. And there's always been this argument about facility management being the maintenance guys. So this will be my last question for today.
Yeah.
But before we go, if you're still here up to this moment, thank you. Thank you for helping us grow. Thank you for being a source of inspiration. Thank you. Your likes, your shares, they are so much appreciated. And I believe Mr. Solomon is also happy and thankful for all that you do for us. Yeah. Right? So before you go, do you think that facility managers are just maintenance guys? This is a perception that has been around. What do you think? This will determine whether you are going to come back to this show. Don't mind me. So, what do you think?
I don't. In my
definition.
In my own opinion, right? Everybody's. You understand? In my own opinion, I don't see that very much of a difference. So.
Facility managers being maintenance guys.
I don't see the difference. I don't see the difference. I don't. I say
cut.
No, I
say but I think I need to change the narrative for you. There's a lot of difference, and this means that you're going to be back on this show.